Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Morgan Township meeting, December 14th, 2020, 7 p.m. Can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Morgan Township Board of Trustee minutes dated November 23rd, 2020, as written.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the warrants.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment listing from 11/23/2020 to 12/14/2020. Payment number 827-2020 through 862-2020. Warrant number 10343 is voided. Warrant number 10344 through 10398 for a total of $197,973.89.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, we have no one from the audience tonight. Mr. Galloway.
Okay, first of all, the administrative report. We continue on the COVID protocols that we've set in place. The county still remains in red at a level 3. The Ohio Department of Health put the directive out a couple weeks ago, the 3701, about the 10 persons or greater gathering, and then the mask required in retail stores. Bureau of Workers' Comp compliance team was in Morgan Township. They received several complaints and visited a few businesses and gave them warnings that we were informed of. And so we know they were in place throughout the township.
Were the warnings for customers or for the
For the business,
employees?
for the retail businesses.
For the employees?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So she's going to go over a little bit more detail. I know the other day we got data where there was the highest one-day total in Butler County of 500 people new positives. And she's going to go over the data as well as we now have the update on the vaccinations for the phase 1 and 1B, 1A, 1B. So he'll go over that in his report. The tornado siren, I got a call today. I put a call out today to see what the status was on it. I know that both the gentleman who's providing the bucket truck and the gentleman, the company that's doing it, the work for Wayland, they could not get a date yet. So as of today, when I tried to call and find out the status, I've not got a call back. So that most likely has not been done yet because of conflicting schedules and everybody's being busy. So I will keep up on that one and see where it's at. I'll do Rob's reports. We've got Rob's reports, and I'll just do his as well. Part of it's some administrative stuff in there as well. Any other questions on the administrative report?
No.
Brett, did you actually find out from Desmond what week they were reviewing the grants?
I have not heard from him yet.
Okay. I would assume it's probably this week that they were going to review all of the block grants, but I had not heard from him as well to see if it's this week and when day it is to attend, to just to put some hearsay in. So I can try him again tomorrow, but I've not heard at all from
I haven't heard a thing either.
when it was. So, okay. All right, the fire department reports, phase 3, so they finished painting. The flooring is completely done, the new flooring, they replaced the carpet. Upstairs is completely done. They were moving all the EMS supplies and cabinets into the new room that it's going in. That upstairs is totally done except for some light fixtures that we're installing in-house in Lieutenant Galloway's office. The bottom, the train room in Captain Fonz's office is completely floored and painted. They've got one coat in the men's and women's bathroom. They assure me tomorrow they will be finished. We started today, thanks to Mark and Steve. They started doing the grid in the new pads in the kitchen that match the new day room. And then I went out and bought all the 2x2 grids, and that's all preset and ready to go for Chris and the subs to start hanging the IT stuff
Speakers.
off the grid, the speakers.
Speakers and microphones.
Yeah, so we got the grids, they're ready to put in, we'll probably put them in tomorrow. And then Ken Ashcroft, Controlled Comfort, I talked to him today, he'll have the complete HVAC system done by Wednesday to Thursday at the latest. He's only got one more day left. The last thing is the watch office. We talked about this when we did the walkthrough. You'll see the quote in there from Home Depot. If you go to the back, you'll kind of see at the very back it's got their CAD drawings. It says Home Depot on it. I got 3 bids, and then the middle has the color. That's not actually the doors, but that's the actual color of the cabinets. I got 3 bids. Upright Design, who did the kitchen, was $3,861. Lowe's was $2,737.68. And Home Depot was $1,839.02 for the upper and lower cabinets with the countertop. The sales tax comes off when they place the order. They just, because of the way they put it in there, they can't pull the sales tax off now. But Connie said the minute the order got placed, it would pull it back off to be the $1,839. So that's the lowest of the 3 bids. We did assemble, thanks to Chief Griffith and I think it was a Unit 1 day, they assembled a new computer table in that room, so the 2 computer tables are set. And that's really the only thing lacking down on the first floor that gets the first floor phase really completed and done is that cabinetry over there that'll hold the shelf will hold all of the radio chargers and the chargers for the 4 gas meters and other things that we charge on a daily basis.
What's the lead time on these cabinets?
4 to 5 weeks. Actually, now it's to 4 to 6 weeks because of COVID and the holidays.
But those aren't COVID money,
No.
so.
No COVID money. This
Right.
is out of the building fund. I think Connie and I talked today, and there's still some building fund money left, so it would be out of that building fund. But exactly.
All right, so you need a motion, correct?
I would like one, yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion for Home Depot for $1,839.02 for the 3 bottom cabinets and 3 top cabinets to finish off in, what room is that again?
That's the watch office.
The watch office.
Second?
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next, we have 2 hires. We're waiting just on a physical back on the second one, but you'll have in your packet a job application. He goes by Logan, so it's Logan Rigsby. He is a full-time firefighter paramedic at Westchester. He's been there a couple of years. He applied here, passed all of his pre-employment, polygraph, physicals, and all that. And we're looking for a motion to hire Logan Rigsby as a firefighter paramedic, effective 12/21 of 20. And he's already kind of picked up a unit day, which will help us out immensely on Unit 1A days.
All right, I'll make a motion to hire James Logan Rigsby for Morgan Township Fire Department as volunteer and part-time with a 1-year probation.
Second.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved. Carol, what number is that, please?
226-2020.
Thank you.
Thank you. As we discussed last week, this is the motion that Jack Grove recommended that we
Can I go
follow.
back just a second?
Sure.
I need to amend that. I need to add firefighter paramedic at $17 an hour effective 12/21/2020. Sorry, I left that off. Is there still a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Sorry about that. Sorry, Jeff.
That's all right. No, that's fine. This is what we discussed last week and the opinion of Jack Grove that we move forward with this motion. with the Branstetter and Carroll. This is how Jack had proposed that we write the motion. A motion for Branstetter and Carroll to waive final bill to Morgan Township in exchange for waiver of claims of professional and negligence construction extras. With that, if it passes the trustees, he will forward that, he will write that officially up and then submit that to Mike Carroll, who's basically waiting for this to then wash everything on their end as well.
So moved.
So do we find anything out about their insurance company?
They will not, they have refused to give it to both me and to
It wasn't in any of their,
it would, oh, I'm sorry, Tom. So I went through both of those thick books, nothing in there in either one of those books. It has all of their, it has all kinds of other things that they have to have, licenses, AIA, things and all that. Not one piece of information in there on their insurance carrier. Yeah. Yeah. I went through both of those big binders that they supplied us, and it has all the subs, it has everything in there. It does not have any insurance carrier for them in it.
So on the numbers, just so I can make a note to myself, the final bill that was waived was, what was the
Roughly
total
about
of that?
$10,000.
So we said that we will not pursue a $10,000 reduction in our current bill, pending waiver of the professional and negligent claim. Make sure I got this right. So we're asking them to credit us for $10,000 for work that they had not done. Is that right?
No. They had, if you exclude the small items, which is what Jack said, the two significant ones were $35,000.
Okay.
That's what we were disputing with trying to find the insurance company and doing errors and admissions. They stood their ground and said it's typical percentage of things that happen. Jack Grove talked to them and they would not budge on any of that, verse also without giving us the insurance carrier's name for the errors and admissions. So if we take the $10,000 we owe them off of their $35,000, that leaves us out $25,000. Jack Grove said that it would cost us more in a forensic architect to go through every piece of information, and then court costs, court cases, and everything like that. It would cost us way more than the $25,000.
To get our 25,000.
To get our 25,000 was basically what he said.
Usually anything less than 30,000, you're just about gonna lose it in court costs and lawyers and everything else. It almost ain't worth getting.
So we're basically saying we owe them 35. They're going to give us a credit for 10.
No.
We agree to
No,
pay
we
them
only owe
25.
them 10 something.
We don't owe,
The final bill.
we don't owe Branstetter and Carroll technically anything. We're disputing disputing the plumbing negligence and the plumbing in the building and the drainage in the parking lot. Those are the two big things we're disputing because of engineering flaws or
Architectural.
architectural things. We've already paid those, they're
But those-
done,
right.
everything is done.
Those were a cost to us.
They were a
based
cost to
on their
us.
oversight.
They were a cost to us as their negligence for missing those parts. But,
Okay.
so they're gonna wash the $10,000 we still owe them. It's gonna end up being a $25,000 difference that Jack said it's gonna cost you more than that to fight it because the forensic, and I think I talked about this in one of the meetings earlier, the forensic architect that would go through it's like $600 an hour, $400 or $500 an hour to go through all of that to look to then say, yeah, there is a negligence here. I will tell you, both myself with numerous emails to Mike Carroll and phone calls, and then both as well as Jack Grove, they're not going to budge giving us who their insurance company is. They're just not going to budge who it is that we go around them and file a claim against them. This Jack said, because in the scale of going to court for doing this on negligence or construction extras or whatever is really a small scale thing to the court system. And he said that's why it's going to cost you more to fight it than to just work through it. Now, everything that's done, I mean, the water line is in the building, the 2-inch water line's in the building, it's done. The parking lot is done. We actually saved some money at the end of the day when Rob did some of the work himself, so that is the difference. The couple other things, the shelf brackets that were like $484, and the AC vents handlers for the where the filters are was like $984. He said all that small stuff, you just throw that out. You just have to go with the 2 big ticket items and try and fight that. But again, when we added up the numbers, it's just not going to be there worth a fight. It's going to cost you more at the end.
Okay, thanks,
So
Chief.
let me ask you this, if there's any warranty, which I thought there was, on the building, is that through Branstad or Carroll or through the
Through Empire.
contractors? Through them, okay.
It's through Empire.
Because we are already starting to see some issues.
Yep, yep.
and
Yep.
Of things that weren't put in correctly.
Yep.
And,
Yep,
so,
and I'll tell you, Pete Limerick from Empire, I was talking to him Thursday, Friday of last week, and we had a little issue with the HVAC, but they'd come out and fixed the HVAC. Prior to that, they came out and fixed the doors that weren't locking. He's right on it.
so are they
right
still
on
in
it.
business, Empire?
So, I don't know what their status is as a business, but Pete is still in the office managing what's left of Empire and answering my calls. And in fact, like I said last week, he located for us the ceiling tiles that were in there to match the day room that we put in the kitchen. So he's in the office, what's left of it, and they're still bidding jobs, but they only do government work. And during COVID, there's probably not a lot of government contracts out there. So he's still functioning as Empire, but as a business, I don't know if they're out doing any more construction yet. But he is answering all my calls and following up with subcontractors. So, but they are responsible for all, and that's in that big thick binder that I went through all those pages. It's in there about how they're responsible for the warranty for the year of the building.
Okay.
Yep.
I just didn't want, if we have the agreement with Branstad or Carroll,
Yeah.
I don't want to waive that.
Waive the warranty. Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. But it's with Empire. Yep.
All right.
Okay, so is there a second?
Second?
Did you make the motion? I didn't hear you make the motion, I'm sorry. I guess we got
Roll
into
back,
discussion.
Yeah, he,
I made the motion, then we started discussion.
Okay,
Right.
all right.
okay, Mr. Updike,
Yes,
Mr. Kolb,
Yes.
Mr. Brucker.
Yes.
Motion approved.
And I just want to loop back to the first step. My goal was with Chief Griffith and when the CARES money with Oxford Computer Solutions and all that with the flooring and the painting contractors, my goal was to finish the entire Phase 3 by the end of the year, and I see that happening because, like I said, tomorrow we'll be moving stuff back into the offices. The training room will be opened back up again, and so that timeline's fallen into place really nice. So by then, we will definitely invite you back in to see it completely done, and then go to Phase 4 next year. So staffing overview for 2021. So CARES Act money is done. We've heard nothing from the feds or the state that there's going to be lump sum of CARES Act money coming for 2021. So we'll resume January 1st. We've already done scheduling for our schedule for January. It'll resume back to the 3 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Thursday at 1800 goes to 4 through 1800 on Sunday. So it'll go back to our normal staffing that we've been doing, and with the addition of Logan Rigsby and then Andrew, Chief, how do you say his last name?
Tannenfeld.
Okay, he'll be up on the next meeting. We're just waiting on his results for his physical. Our staffing is looking really good that we'll be able to meet our staffing and reduce our minimum manning and all that. And I will say, with COVID, knock on wood, we have not had somebody affected by our department in COVID. We've had a couple of people that were other departments that got quarantined, but we worked around that. And our staffing has stayed healthy through this whole crisis. So we've made all our calls unless we were totally out and had to rely on somebody, but we have done very well with COVID because there's some other departments that are really, really short and overrun right now on COVID and staffing. I'm going to skip, let AC get to his part. So I need to, Connie said that we need to do official POs tonight for these items. So I need a PO to Bluss Motors. You already talked about this, but engine 142 went for the repairs. We got the 3 quotes. Bluss came back at $3,900. They fixed the radiator, had it back for about 2 or 3 days. There were some other tidbit items that it had to go back down. It just came back, I think, on Friday. So we haven't gotten the bill yet. We haven't gotten their final bill at $3,900. But I just need a PO, an official PO motion for Bluss for repairs up to $5,000 for engine 142.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And then the 3 Vogel pools, Chief Griffith discussed this, I think, 2 meetings ago. They were coming up for their annual NFPA inspection. Well, they've had them now. So the overall bill for the 3 was $3,300, but engine 141 was $1,117.50. Engine 142 was $1,065, and then the tanker 141 was $1,117.50. And so those are the 3 POs that we just need a motion for to officially pay Vogel Pool for the NFPA annual safety inspections.
You just need one PO for $3,300, correct?
Yes.
Or do you need a for each
No,
truck?
just one.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And the last one is to Pro Air Inc. This is our annual maintenance, repair, and filters and certification on the SCBA air compressor. That's a compressor that fills all of our SCBA bottles for our air packs. And this is their annual, they do it on November, end of November. This is their PO for their annual maintenance at $1,150.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved.
That's all I have, and no executive session tonight for either administration or fire department.
Are you going to do Rob's when his
Yeah,
time
I'll
comes
circle
up?
back and do
Okay.
Rob's, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right, I'll piggybacking on Chief's staffing overview. When that staffing contracts in January, I spoke to Dr. Huff today. While COVID's still running as it is, we're going to contract the number of hospitals we go to back closer to home. With 3 on duty, we just can't be making even the runs we were making when we had the COVID money. So we're going to cut it back to 1 hospital from each system. 1 Good Sam, 1 Fort Hamilton, and then 1 Mercy. And that's going to be it till the numbers start going the other way in the runs, because we just can't have them on those long runs. So Dr. Huff was approved that today. It's just a matter of fact, we can't have those squads gone that long now with the increasing numbers. November 2020 versus 2019, we're up 19 runs. They're mostly EMS runs. The 1 building fire was not ours. We had one open burn that we're all aware of, and 1 grass fire. The majority continues to be EMS calls, but we're up to 462 incidents for the year. We could hit 500, but it would take a lot. I just said it, but it would take a lot to get that. We made no hospital transports for
Don't
any of them.
jinx yourself.
We never hit 500, so I'm up for the challenge. I don't know if anybody else is. We made 3 mutual aid runs, and 2 we transported 2 for Ross Township during the month. 1 was a non-transport. They transported none for us. So unless you have questions about that, I'll move on to COVID. We broke a record today, 9,000 cases reported from yesterday in the county. The numbers for Morgan Township, we're a split zip code. So in 45053, we did have the distinction of percent-wise having the highest percentage increase of COVID cases in the county. Number-wise, it's just because our population is so low. We had a 21.7% increase in COVID in 45053. There's 129 right now in that zip code. 45011 you can't break out because it includes more than Morgan Township. But 45011 had a 15.8% increase, or 413 cases.
That's 45013, isn't it?
I'm sorry, 45013. 45011 has the highest in the state. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I had a vapor lock there. 45013 had 2,325, an 18.1% increase. The governor spoke of what is driving this, and he calls it multi-generational gatherings. That's what's driving these numbers. Thanksgiving surge is here. Christmas surge is a fear. Restaurants are really not a cause of concern. Schools aren't a real concern, but it's these multi-generational gatherings. One thing they did point out that one of the greatest spreads of COVID is heating and air, and we've taken care of that here, so we should be very proud of that. UV in the heating and air kills it, and not everybody's taking that forward step.
Will you be seeing the vaccine anytime soon?
Yes, so the vaccine, we're at the stage where we signed our MOA, which we had signed and filed with the county Board of Health. The hearing for the one that we're slated to get is the Moderna, and that is this Thursday. So if they follow like they did with Pfizer by Friday, Saturday, the FDA should give the emergency use authorization, and it should start shipping. The governor included EMS providers in the 1A that the CDC did not. The CDC did not think any first responders should be in the 1A, and I don't understand their logic there, but that was their decision. But the governor overrode that, and I think he was right. The part of it is that you have to be an EMS provider, and they're requiring you have an EMS certification to get that 1A for EMS providers. That was very clear in the guidance. So an email went out to the Butler County Chiefs to get your numbers, so I spent the weekend contacting everybody, either text, call, email, whatever. And so I have the numbers, and I submitted them today. So right now is being discussed how the point of distribution, or pod as we call it, will be broken up in the county, and we're still waiting on further guidance on that. As soon as we get that guidance, we'll figure how it's going to be, if it's going to be several fire departments together or one single. We don't know yet. It's a fluid situation, so we're waiting on that guidance. So the timeline says December 22nd, 23rd should be the deliveries to Butler County, right now.
So is any departments or any businesses that are in the 1A category making it mandatory?
No, none that we've talked to. The real question about mandatory, and this was on a chief's call a couple months ago or a month ago. One of them ran through their legal department, and while it's under an emergency use authorization from the FDA, it would be very difficult to make that a mandatory vaccine. Now, some have said, I've understood, some places have said, if you don't get it and you get COVID, we're not covering your time off or your quarantine time. Because if you choose not to get it, that's your decision, but then we've offered you this and you're not, so then we're not going to cover you. Unless there's some predisposing reason. If you're immunosuppressed, that's the biggest one right now. Immunosuppressed people or take immunosuppressive drugs are not to get this. That's really the only CDC guideline. They're even recommending everybody else get it.
What's the time frame between the first shot and the second shot?
28 days for the Moderna. I believe it's 21 for the Pfizer. And that's another misnomer. When they say there's 50,000 doses coming, it's really not 50,000 people, it's 25,000 because the doses are identical.
Oh, so
Yeah. So
shot 1 and shot 2 are the same?
Yeah, you cut it in half. So there are, you're going to hear some reports that there's bad side effects and all that. And the understanding is the way this messenger RNA vaccination works is it does cause an immune response that is COVID. It's a attenuated, small response, but people do have symptoms for a couple days after, if you read the studies in the literature from the phase 3 trials.
Just like a flu shot.
It is, but it's new technology. mRNA, if they did it the old way, like a polio, the estimate would be 20 years to get the vaccine done. By using messenger RNA, they did it in 9 months because messenger RNA is being used as a cancer cure, melanoma cure, and all different things. So the delivery method has already been certified. It's just you're putting the programming in for COVID, and that's what took the 9 months. So it's exciting technology because you're really reprogramming somebody's DNA to fight it. There's no DNA change in their body, but the DNA in that shot is helping tell your body to fight it. It's remarkable technology. So that's the vaccine. Hopefully, our Christmas present, we start giving some people some injections. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of back and forth before this finally gets ironed out, as anything does, but the health department is leading the charge on this. They have the ultra cold storage. they purchased, and they're gonna get it, and then figure out the distribution to the fire departments. And it's mainly fire departments, because it's the EMS certified people. So we're excited to get it. You still gotta wear a mask, they're saying, until there's 60% of the population has it. It could change tomorrow, I don't know, but it's not that, it just doesn't get you out of a mask right away. So that's the vaccination, as far as that. As far as our response, we continue, I've increased the vigilance on, now we're UVing every room and every apparatus every day. Because if somebody gets in it and checks a truck, they could have COVID, so we're using the UV in the fire truck and the tanker everywhere, and we're also UVing after every run, whether it's COVID or not. We bought these things, we might as well use them.
Just say it don't hurt a thing.
No, it doesn't hurt a thing, and it's
And if it
reassuring.
wasn't COVID, it's something else that'll kill.
Well, we were talking that, we've had nobody out with the flu, we've had nobody out with gastrointestinal, we've had really no call-ins in 10 months. That, because it's a healthy place over there, we take temperatures, we've got UV in the air handlers, we got UV everywhere, we're spraying Cydex with atomizers once a day now. I mean, it's a pretty large decontamination that building gets every day. I mean, every touch point gets Cydexed every day. Who else can say that? I mean, it's pretty, that's what we've used the CARES money appropriately to fight this COVID. And I think it's showing in 10 months we've had nothing. Now, we could get it tomorrow, and we've had contractors in and out, and we've had a lot of traffic, and we've still not had a case that we can tie back to it. So that's basically our COVID update. Any questions about it? There's plenty, but I think the numbers will continue to go on. I think, until the middle of January, when all the Christmas multi-generational gatherings happen, you're going to see another Thursday wave.
And the other question has come to me and Chief Griffith as well, is about just general population, and that has not even been discussed yet.
Phase two would be general. Well, phase 3 and 4
Three.
is actually general population. Phase
Yep.
2 is going to be some people over 65 with predisposed health conditions, heart, asthma, whatever. 1B is going to be some people, but it's going to be a while. I would say the last call we were on, it was March, April.
Yeah,
For the
for
general
phase
public?
3 and 4.
For phase 3 and 4. But
And
one-
again, they don't even know how they're going to distribute it. The phase 1 to the nursing homes and all that are going to be going through Walgreens and CVS pharmacies, but when it gets to the general population, they haven't even discussed any of those yet, so.
Because there's a whole, you
So-
got to track everyone, and I saw a thing, they're hiring nurses like any nurse that has extra time, and no nurse wants to do it because they're all burned out from COVID, but they need nurses to go into nursing homes and immunize, residents. So, but the problem is where are you going to get the nurses? Because they're all working multiple shifts at hospitals taking care of COVID patients. And then they continue to open extra units, and most hospitals now are canceling elective procedures, and it's a real shutdown of our normal healthcare system. And the ERs are full, and they're putting patients with IVs and collars in the waiting room. And that happened at Westchester. They had patients sitting there on IVs. They don't have room. So people need to understand that these gatherings are really stressing the healthcare system. Over 83% of the ICU beds in our zone region are full right now. That's a scary fact if you need an ICU bed.
Anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
Mr. Galloway, you doing Mr. Brown, please?
I am. So road department, Rob took a few days off, and he'll be back tomorrow. First one is, and I know that he included all of you in an email because I saw that the other day, the copy from Marianne Nardiello's findings on the Jenkin Road easement. I don't know if I glanced through it. I don't know if everybody read through it through Rob's email, or I can read them line by line again here. What would you like, Rich?
I read it.
Yeah.
I read it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, okay. So that's her findings, and go from there. Number 2, the road department has been helping the fire department, so they moved when the weather was nasty, they actually moved the engine 142 down to Bluffs for us, and then they picked it back up for us because the weather was just not conducive to be out working. Today, with Rob being gone, he had them go down and pick up the ceiling panels, ceiling pad tiles for the kitchen, and they did that today, and Steve and actually Mark did that today, since it was 29 degrees outside. They did the inside work today with us. We got a dumpster for the back, so we've been doing a lot of fire training in the back with Steve Robertson's old motorhome. And so now it's to the point where we're going to burn it, the rest of it down, and then cut it up and all that and put it in a dumpster. So they actually put the dumpster back there for us that we rented. They've been doing a lot of tree trimming and back brushes, cutting dead limbs along the roadsides. I know Steve was out. Steve and Mark have been using a lot of their vacation time up until the end of the year. So Steve was out the other day, I know, in the tractor's got the sidearm, and he was out doing a lot of that brushing on the sides of the right-of-ways and the roads. And then they did go out and do one round of salt on the roads last week, and there's a little iffy potential for tomorrow night, Wednesday, for maybe a salt somewhere in a 1 to 3 inch range of snow and or frozen mix that's being predicted. We'll probably know more tomorrow with an updated forecast. But he had said to me that they didn't use much salt as for this one round, and they're still pretty good at a salt shed on salt. And that was Rob's report.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Mr. Marshall?
Okay, you don't have the chart tonight for the status report because I'm in the process of redoing a little bit of it and making it a little bit more efficient for you to read and me also to take care of. But I will report that Mr. Trader has put a roof on top of his garage. Can we sing hallelujah, I guess? I don't know.
Did he
Everything else.
support the actual structure underneath it, though?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was on a run across the street from it. It's, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I had
just
a
making sure.
picture I was going to bring in, but I
I-
just didn't want to bring my
I
computer.
passed it the other day and there was snow on the roof. And
Yeah.
I called Dale, I said, there's a roof there. I can't tell if it's shingle, but it's actually metal.
It's a metal roof,
It's a
yeah.
metal roof.
All he's got left to do is the doors. And apparently what he did was, even with the back walls, he stood them back up and tacked them all down. So he was efficient. And also the Mustang Drive one is in holding right now. They did move the RV, got it winterized and put new tires on it and put it back in the place where they told me they would put it in place where they told me they would put it. And now I'm just waiting to see if I'm going to drive by there one night and see lights on in it or anything else beyond that. Okay, but that takes care of the status. I'm also working on writing a letter this week to 6439 Okeana-Druersburg Road on running the business in a residential area. Zoning certificates, you do have that. That's from all of October through today. If you take that $12,327, I believe it is, I don't have it in front of my face at the bottom, add $1150 to it and add $400 to it, it puts me over $14,000 of revenue for the year so far, with an expectation of maybe 1 or 2 coming in. The BZA variance hearing, the area variance was granted to Mr. Bangan. It was a 10-foot variance granted so that he could place his 30 by 50 metal garage onto the property effectively. It took 2 meetings to get that done, but it was a case of the applicant not giving us a very good view of why he needed it, where he needed it. And once we secured a good picture of it in terms of where the septic lines were, then the board went on and gave it approval. And you have in your packet application for 2 people for the Board of Zoning Appeals. What is the?
So Chris Schweitzer made the transition to
Sorry, yeah.
the commission.
Chris made the transition, said he would really wants to get on there
Okay,
and everything else, so it will be for the BZA.
right.
When's the date of application stop?
We had
We had
first
December,
of
yeah, we had
December,
December
1st
30.
of January right there.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
so then we'll, in first week in January, we'll start setting up
Right.
interviews for
Yeah,
both the the Board of BZA
And the
and the
fiscal
fiscal officer.
Yeah, because I'm putting the applications in there, but I just wanted you to have them for your
Okay.
review ahead of time.
So you need a motion for Chris Schweizer for the Board of Commission for a 5-year term starting January
Well, January
2021?
20, yep,
Through 2026.
through
Or
25.
for the term, but he started presently, am I correct?
Well, actually, he would be filling Matt Peacock's
Unexpired term.
unexpired term.
Okay.
But Matt
To complete
Peacock's-
the unexpired term plus the 5-year new
Right,
term.
right, but Matt Peacock was up for.
Yeah, he was up, so it's starting a new term.
Not starting a new term, and I figured it's 20, well, you've got 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It will expire December 31st, 2025.
Correct.
That's 5 years.
Was he the one that was up on rotation this year?
Matt Peacock.
'Cause there
Matt
should be
Matt
one-
was, yeah. Matt
Okay.
was up for that fill-in for one of the other, I forgot who went off the board at that time when we filled 2 positions on the boards, or 3 positions. Okay? But I need a motion for Chris Schweitzer.
Okay, I'll make a motion for Chris Schweizer to finish the unexpired term until,
No, it's a new
No.
term.
well, I was gonna put both all in one together.
Okay,
To finish the unexpired term until January 1st of 2021, and then do a 5-year term from January 1st, 2021
through
through
December
Janu-
31st,
December 31st of
2025.
2026.
25.
Be a 5-year term, right? If he's starting in one, 5-year term would be 6.
21 is 1 year, 22 is the second year, 23 is the third year, 24 is
25.
the
4th year.
4th year, and 25 is the
25,
fifth.
you're correct.
I have to do it by my fingers, but,
Math don't add up, but yes.
yeah. So December 31st, 2025.
Okay, we're second?
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, and otherwise, unless you have something for me, I am done.
All righty, thank you, sir. Ms. Reinhardt?
All right, first one, we received $1,084.26 from the county for the coronavirus relief redistribution. This was from money that other entities turned back in, and then they redistribute it. So I need approval to add $1,084.26 to Fund 2272 to the 2020 revenue and appropriation budgets.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved. Carol, what number is that, please?
232, 2020.
Thank you. And I received a notice from the Butler County Auditor, and it's been in the news. Roger Reynolds is returning some of the tax collection fees to each entity. Morgan Township is slated to receive $9,491.43. So I would like approval to add $9,491.43 to the 2020 revenue and appropriation budgets. I don't know yet what the breakdown is. I haven't received the breakdown to know what funds it's in, but to keep things moving through the end of the year, once I get it, then I can go ahead and add it if you approve it tonight.
So moved.
Just a question, do you know why that money is coming back to the township? Is it all based on real estate, or what was that
It's based on
from?
Roger Reynolds doing such a good job in managing the auditor's office that he has saved a couple $1 million.
He's been doing this every year for the
yeah.
last like 3 or 4 years, if I remember right.
And so he's returning
Okay,
because of COVID and the strain that it's put on all the local governments. He made the decision to return this money to to the entities.
okay. Second?
Okay, I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Me?
Okay. Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Motion approved. And then I need a couple of POs. North Coast Products for $750 for emulsion. The PO that we had was just a little bit short.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved. Then I need a then and now PO to the Aeromark Company LLC for $12,817.48 for the retracing of roads with the then date of 7/9/20 and a now date of 12/4/20.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Motion approved. Okay, then I need the approval for the 2020 temporary appropriations for the 2021 budget as written. The temporary appropriations, just a little refresher, are supposed to get us through the first quarter of the year. In actuality, they're going to get us through the first 2 months. So I have the general fund at 200,000, 2011 at 10,000, 2021 at 90,000, 2031 at 100,000, 2111 at 300,000, 2191 at 125,000, 2231 at 15,000, and 2281 at 50,000 for a total of $890.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved. Carol, is that 236 then?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. And so far, it's looking like we're going to have some fairly decent carryovers this year for a change. I want to thank everybody for doing their best to tighten their belts and not, spend money on anything that we didn't absolutely need to have. I'll have a better idea probably by the next meeting and by the end of January for sure what the carryovers are going to be. But it's looking better than it has for a couple years.
Yay.
Yeah.
It's good news.
Partial payments have been given to Oxford Computer Solutions and Controlled Comfort for the work that they have done for different things to help them pay for the equipment that they had to purchase. And then, they hopefully will both get paid on 12/28. So
That's what they were told.
that's, yeah,
12/28's the next time that the trustees sign checks.
right. RAMM, someone approached me and wanted you guys to just start thinking about a possible place here in Morgan Township where food donations could be left. And I told them, well, with COVID, I said, community center's not open. We're not allowing people in the building here. And they said, well, not for like right now, but maybe in the spring somewhere. So I'm bringing it before the board for you guys to think about.
Like a
Wouldn't that need to
pantry?
be where someone's manned, where you could get it in, because you don't want to leave it
Right.
out, because someone can tamper with it, everything else.
Right. And they had questioned about using the firehouse, and I'm sorry, Chief, I forgot to bring this up to you, and I said, nah, that's not gonna work.
Well, they could be out on a run and
Right,
come there and,
yeah,
no.
that's what I said. I said, there's not always someone there if they're out on a run, and I said, right now with COVID, we don't want a lot of people going in and out of the firehouse either, so.
So would this be like a pantry where we take food in and then we open it up for hours where people would come and
No,
pick it up?
I think they just want a collection point where the residents of Morgan Township could leave the food and they'll now take it down to Ross,
Yeah,
To their-
Ram is running down in Ross and Venice.
out of the middle school.
Yeah, it's a ministry.
Yeah,
Like
To me,
tomorrow-
that would be more like a place at like either Hyatt's or the restaurant or one of the little convenience
Yeah,
stores.
they run things like tomorrow night, they're out at the IGA asking for donations because there's such a need right now in Ross and Morgan townships for food. They have a lot more needs than they have donations. So they're out there tomorrow night asking, but they do these all the time to try to, and they have places you can drop it off.
Could they work this maybe through Morgan Elementary or one of the churches?
That would be a logical question.
Here would be the problem with the schools. One, you've got to be, they want
Yeah,
keep
you
you
can't
as a
get in.
parent or
Yeah.
personnel that's going there. You don't want people that's not associated with it because of the risk and security.
But we're really not set up for a food collection.
That's why I
Center
said
here.
more like the little stores
Yeah.
where they're open all the time. They could have a basket inside. Here we're not.
Yeah.
There they're not. I wouldn't do the school. That's a security risk.
right.
Church
So,
You open
usually
that
doesn't
up
have people
and
there all
then
day long.
The churches ain't manned all the time either.
Right.
That's the problem.
they just wanted me to, kind of bring it before you guys so you could be thinking about it, and after the first of the year, when, hopefully maybe things quiet down a little bit, they said, one of them would be glad to come and speak to the board at a meeting and explain it a little better. So I'm just I told her I would put it out there so you all could be thinking about it.
Okay.
I received a public records request for payroll records from the firehouse renovation project. We went back and forth, and I have everything ready to send to the person tomorrow. I was able to come up with all the records that they were requesting except one, but I have another form that should suffice what they're asking for. This came from someone who works with someone that checks the labor part for projects, usually road construction from what I could find out, but I will finish that and send it off to them tomorrow. And I didn't put this in my report. There is a rumor going around that BWC is going to give another round of dividends, but I can't find, like on BWC's website, it's not there telling the amounts yet. So I'm not, I've heard figures thrown around, but I don't want to put those out there until I get official word. The checks are supposed to be mailed the middle of December, but I haven't seen anything yet. So hopefully by the next meeting, we'll know for sure if that's coming through or not.
Don't count on any, and whatever we get's a surprise.
Yeah, right. So that's all that I have, unless someone has any questions for me.
I'm good there. Mr. Cole?
Okay. I just wanted to say thanks to the fire department. About a week and a half ago, you made a run to one of our neighbors, and I think you were a real comfort for the effort that you guys made there, and just wanted to pass that thanks along to you guys. So that was a
That was a tough one.
important thing.
That was
Thanks.
tough.
That's all.
Mr. Barker?
The only thing I have is, to date, we've got one application for the fiscal officer position, and we already spoke. We have two for the BZA. Those applications are being accepted till December 31st, so if anybody's interested, please contact one of the trustees or drop off an application or mail it into the 3141 Chapel Road address, the administration building. That's it.
All right, I'm gonna kind of do mine in reverse. I forgot to write one down. I don't know if either one of you have gotten a text message or an email, and let me pull it up here.
For the internet service?
I'm not sure that it's internet. Let me find it. Okay, it says here, "Hi Brett, this is Pat from Revised Government Websites. Butler County website designer, specialist in designing solutions and apps, offered very user-friendly, and if I'm not mistaken, I received an email earlier from them and that said they were doing work for the county. Does anybody know anything? Or is this,
The county has their own IT department. I don't
Well,
know if
that's
they
what I
do their own
thought, too.
websites, but I know Eric, I can't think of Eric's last name, but there's a whole IT section at the county level. They
And
do
what-
the elections board with all the results. They do all that, so I'm not sure what that's at.
and they're asking if they can come do a demo, 15 to 20 minutes, either December or January. I don't know if that's anything you guys are even interested in, don't want, pursue it, not pursue it.
In reference to apps, we've got the Nixle ready to go. We've
Well,
got,
see,
I
that's
think
what I
you
was
guys are
thinking.
all on the Nixle, Chief got you on it. We're doing a plan right now to get it out to do the blast out to get everybody to sign up on it. So that's the app that we have, and then Tom does the
I don't know
fire
if we
department
need it, but
I don't know what we
websites.
need it for.
I'm not sure what we,
I did notice that the Butler County Tax Map and the Butler County Auditor's websites have had slight changes and some improvements to them over the last 2 weeks, at least that I know of, and everything else. And I think that's where it's also focused, is it, in terms of
doing it ourselves with the tech or someone else. So, thought I would bring that up. The other thing I got was a email from this Lisa Stagg Herman. Have you guys seen it? Did you guys get that email as well? Or basically in February, Butler Rural Cooperative signed an agreement with Cincinnati Bell bringing fiber internet service to more local homes, and I guess Milford trustees signed it and used some of the COVID CARE Acts to bring, I guess, some of the areas that did not have the access to get internet into their township. But if we're not going to get any more CARES Act money, I don't see this for happening, or if it's even something.
We already got.
We got fiber optics.
We have fiber optics.
They're saying not to the community, not just to the township, but like, do we have roads out here that still cannot get internet?
My understanding, I mean, I live on the end of the end of the end, and I have it. And I was one of the last ones. Was my understanding, fiber optics is in the whole township. Unless
Well,
I'm
that's
wrong.
kind of where I was going. I
thought
was going to
so.
ask Rob, but Rob's not here. So this was something that was brought to me. You guys should have a copy of this, I believe.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
I've seen.
So that was brought up. If it's something we need to, don't need to, but it's there. Then we want to discuss this, anything on the Marion Nardiella? About how we want to go, what your thoughts are. I still think, even after reading this, basically that easement is there, where if that gets blocked up, we have the right way, or the right to go in there to clean that out, because if it backs up or someone dams that up, you're going to have water on the road, which goes into the ORC, and I think that's why they did this. My thought is, if it's still working, we leave it alone.
Yeah.
Your guys' thoughts? I know Mr. Fernandine wants us to go in there and make it pretty and all that, but that's still his property. We just have a right to go in there to clean that ditch out. Am I correct?
If it requires.
If it requires.
But if it's flowing, then it's
Then
like
there's-
any other easement that we have. We don't maintain them, we just have the right to go on the property if there is a problem.
So are we all reading that pretty much the same?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. The only other thing is, the next meeting, we need to think about all the end of the year stuff, what we're doing. Raises, different things like that, thoughts, so when we have the next meeting, we can discuss all that for the beginning of next year. And
Yep. I'll
we'll get the books out and get everything there. And
rewrite all
thoughts on
the,
that.
Okay.
the motions need to be approved for 2021.
Yep.
Do you have a copy of last meeting? Okay.
If not,
Yeah, I
I
pulled
got
that
it.
up this afternoon after I
Okay.
talked.
And if nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes?
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
We are adjourned. This is Chief's. This is Rob's. Yeah, Rob got
Rob got
folders. He gave
folders
them to
now.
me.
Bob's folders.